And then I counter on 9K and I throw it at him because you can't talk to me anyhow because of 9,000. Like, you can't talk to me anyhow because of money. Do you get, like, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sandra Boname, and if you're new to this channel, welcome. Please subscribe. It's super easy and I promise you would love my content. I'm super fun. If you've subscribed already, thank you so much, and you've been watching consistently, thank you so much. I totally appreciate you. You mean the world to me. And if you've been watching my videos but you haven't subscribed, please help me here, please. Anywho, in today's video we're doing like a quick get ready with me. I'm expected to step out this evening, and I just want to do like my makeup within 15 minutes. I hope I do it within 15 minutes, and I'm going to be giving you guys a short story. So I've washed my face, but I need to clean out the eye makeup that I did earlier today. And to clean up my eye makeup, I usually use the simple eye makeup remover. Very affordable, you know, Miss Affordability, because I don't have money. So yeah, like I said, I've washed my face already. I don't think I really need to. Let me just use micellar water just for the fun of it. All right, so I said I was going to give a quick story. So in my head, since I was an adult, basically, you know, my mom has always taught me the importance of vex money, and I think I eventually found the significance of vex money when I was in med school. So there's this guy that had reached out to me one time. First things first, before I continue, I'm using my favorite products, so I just thought that I should put this out there so you would know the products I'm using. So the first thing you always want to do now is to prime your face. So yeah, I have a ton of primers, and here, this whole section of my drawer is one of the most disorganized sections. But anywho, we're gonna work with it, so let's continue. Right, so I met this guy when I was in, I think, 300 level. He was based in the UK at that time, and you know, I don't know, he saw my pictures on social media, I think, and he wanted to hook up or wanted to meet me, you know. So I mean, when we agreed to meet, you know, he was coming in from the UK to Nigeria. I was super excited, so I was so keen on meeting him at that time. So he reaches out and he's like, "Oh, Sandra, I want us to meet up at XYZ hotel." So he was lodging at that hotel, and I mean, he wanted us to have not a brunch dinner, but like a buffet dinner and all that. So I was super excited. I'd not been to that hotel before. It was one of those top-end high-scale hotels. So yeah, let me just tell you what I use. I'm using the Nuban Beauty mattifying makeup base and hydrating makeup base. So I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I have combination skin. Sometimes it's dry, sometimes it's oily, so I try to put it in the oily. I put the mattifying in the oily areas, and this is the mattifying one, so it's gonna go like on my T-zone, and then the other one, which is the hydrating, goes all over my face. So now back to the story. So I mean, he was coming into the country. He wanted to see me, and we're gonna meet up at this Jesus, what? We're going to meet up at this high-end restaurant or slash hotel, you know. So one thing I always do when I'm going out is I always try to carry money. If I don't have money in my account, I know that I'm not going to go out, because if you mess up, if you fuck up, I want to be able to stand up, pay for my stuff, and dip literally and just get out. So luckily for me, it was like the beginning of the month. My parents had sent me pocket money, so I was balling, obviously. So he said, Sandra, let's meet up. I was pretty excited, to meet up with him. So this is the TM Essentials Luminous Base, and this is the TM Essential Mattifying Face Primer. So I am going to use the mattifying a little, and I'm going to use the Luminous Moisturizer. Now let me put it out there. These brands and Nigerian brands, and they are absolutely amazing. I am so happy that I invested in them. So which one is mattifying? This is mattifying, obviously. So let's go with this in. Oh, so thick and lovely. So we meet up. He's like, oh, let's meet up at 7 p.m. And I went all out. I think I went to buy a dress because I was super excited. I was young. I was what, 21, 20? I can't remember. But I went to buy a dress. I looked good. I got someone in the hostel at that time to like do my hair, because I always know how to do my makeup, but like my hair was always a problem. And then I was ready to head out. So I get to the place. The person I meet is obviously different from the person I was expecting. It was quite not the same in person, you know what I mean? It was not the same. So I have a thing against, I'm so sorry, I have a thing against small people, and it's not like they aren't amazing people, they are, but I just feel like I'm big, so when I'm next to a small person, I almost look like their mom, and I do not want to have to go through that, you know what I mean? So when I met him, he was pretty small, and I was a bit shocked. This is the Nuban Beauty Glow highlighter. I usually put it underneath my foundation, and I use a foundation brush to apply that. So we met. I mean, I looked past the fact that he was small, and I'm just like, okay, fine, we met, let's keep it moving. And then we're eating, we're talking. It's buffet now. I think it was Nike at that time. So it was now time. So we're talking, you know, I was quite careful with the amount of alcohol I was taking, because, you know, I needed my head to be clear and all that. So eventually, if I continue, this is the Nuban Beauty Oil Control Setting Powder in Sienna. What I do with it basically is I usually just apply on my face before applying my foundation, and the reason why I do that is because, like I said, sometimes my face can get quite oily because I have combination skin. So this just helps set, you know. And I learned this trick from Jackie Aina. I learned it from Jackie Aina, and it has been very helpful. So I just put it in those areas that didn't really like have the mattifying primer. And yeah, this Fenty Beauty in, what shade is this? And this is one of the dark shades, Sha. 1 second, we'll find out. Come on, I find it. I can't find it, but yeah, just a quick one. My Fenty Beauty pump is spoiled, and obviously can't throw away such expensive foundation because the pump is spoiled. So we're gonna be using it without the pump. Yeah, that's what I wanted to let you know. All right, so back to the story. So we are eating, we're chilling, we're talking, and then I was still into like pretty much into like Review Naija at that time. So in case you don't know, Review Naija is like my blog. Like, it's a blog that I put up like reviews on Nigerian organizations, restaurants, salons, all that kind of stuff, anything Nigerian. So at that time I was really into Review Naija. So I told him, so you know, we're taking pictures and all that. So when it's time for us to pay, he's like, I know that they should charge it to his room, because like he was working in a very big company at that time, right? So like, you know, money for him wasn't a problem, right? So I think everything was 18k. So I'm ready to leave because we're done, right? And he's like, oh, that wouldn't I want to like come and check out the I forgot something, guys, but it's really not a problem that I forgot. It's fine. So before I do my makeup, right, I usually use this very good Glow Shot serum. It's called the TM Essential Glow Shot. I really like it, but I don't know why I forgot. But anyways, so anywho, it tells me, oh, won't you want to see the rooms? I mean, it will make sense since you're like all Review Naija and all that. So I was so excited, like somebody that really like is looking out for me. He knows like I'm into something and he wants to help. So he's like, oh, we should go check out his room. So I'm like, for sure, that's fine, let's go. So again, he had charged the food to his room, so that wasn't going to be a problem. So anytime I finish my foundation, I like to use like a beauty blender to just touch up. So because I like my makeup stain, I usually finish up, like when I put on my foundation, I use the Ben Nye setting spray. It's called the Final Seal. So I put it on the first coat before I use my concealers. So for concealer, I'm using the Nuban Beauty in my skin concealer in shade 46 and Juvia's Place concealer in shade 8. So I also use the Juvia's Place foundation, but I decided to use that today. Each day different things. So we go to the room, and then I step in, and we're looking, and I'm taking pictures, and next thing, like, he's like, sit down. So well, I said I was naive, because I feel like I had trusted him so quickly, because he was so easy to talk to, and he was, excluding his physical attributes, he was my spec in terms of like listening and all that. So I was just pretty comfortable with him. So when he told me that I think you should sit down, and just chill a bit, and that was when Uber had just like really started per se. So there was traffic, it was difficult to find an Uber, so he was like, just chill a bit, and you could step out after. So me, I was just like, okay, fine, no problem. So I'm sitting down, and then he's like, he's trying to come near me, and I was so uncomfortable. And the problem here is that, like, he's small, so immediately I had seen that even if I had any form of like sexual attraction to him, it had died, because he looked like my son. Literally. So he's trying to come to me, and I'm like, oh my god, no, I mean, I'm so sorry, but like, I'm not interested and all that. And initially he's like, oh, okay, apologies for that, I'm so sorry I made you uncomfortable. And I mean, I was really happy that like I had come, had seen someone like that who understood the fact that like I was uncomfortable in that kind of scenario, and he understood, right? And then it's like, so this one is lighter, by the way, this concealer is lighter, so I just put it really small underneath my eye and on my nose, just to give it the extra, so it's like the knot in his head just loosened, and he's like, is it me that this babe just said no to? And then he's like, fuck it, and he's trying to grab me, and I'm like, but we just had this conversation, like, what is going on? And next thing he's like, that what am I saying, that he just paid for my food, he just paid 9,000 naira for my food, for crying out loud, and I'm telling him that I'm not even going to let him like kiss me, that no, that's bullshit, that if I knew that I wasn't interested in doing that, why did I come, and all that. So I'm like, on top 9k, really? And so I'd gone home prior to that meet. I had gone home, and my parents are cash oriented, at that time they were very skeptical about transferring money to the bank. So anytime I'm going back to school, they would give me cash. So I still had cash with me. I think it was even the same bag. I can't remember, but like I know that I had cash. So I'm like, yo, how much is it? 9k for real? Like, are you trying to insult me because of 9,000 naira? Really? So I didn't mention the concealer I'm using to contour is the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is darker shade, and it's called Truffle. It's not easy to find. If you want to get it, you would have to go through their website. If you go to like normal stores, you might not find it. I think many people do not believe that there are people on this earth that exist and use this kind of dark shade of what they call it, of concealer. By the way, when you're using the Nuban Beauty in my skin, you need to be pretty fast. You could see that it had started to dry out, but thank god I just quickly did this, or else it would have looked really funny eventually. So I'm like, 9,000 naira, and then I count on 9k, and I throw it at him, because you can't talk to me anyhow because of 9,000. Like, you can't talk to me anyhow because of money. Do you get, like, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. So for setting my under eye, I usually like to use the RCMA no color powder. A lot of people have asked me why, because they feel like I have benign, I have a lot of other setting powders, but I like this one because it makes their like really dry, and it doesn't move. Like, it is so proofful, if that's the word. Like, it's so staying. So I just, and secondly, I have really stopped baking. I do more of just apply the powder and let it sit, and then that's it. But like, when I use benign, I feel like I have to bake, because it's usually too heavy. This one is quite light, so it's easy to just move and do what I need to do. You know what I mean? So yeah. So anywho, I give him the money and I'm like, yo, I'm ready. Like, I'm getting out of here. And he goes to the door. And he's like, I'm not gonna leave. I'm like, yo, what do you want? I've given you. And those hotels, they are usually very like shout proof. So for my contour, I'm using the Zickel long lasting compact powder in Noir. It's the darkest shade and it works perfect for me as a contour powder. So those hotels are usually very noise proof, right? So in my head, I'm just like, if I scream here, I'm embarrassing myself, and secondly, nobody's gonna hear me. So I mean, and then I looked at him and he's again small. So it was gonna be pretty easy to take him on, in my own opinion. So I'm like, all right, can you please excuse me? I have paid. Can I leave? And he's like, oh no, that I can't leave. That he was talking a lot of rubbish. And then I'm like, I'm walking towards him to drag him out. Now, for my brows, I am going to be using. So I used to use the Beauty Lamp by Didi. I still use it, but today I'm going to be using the Nubian Beauty pencil in color 1. Now, I also use the TM Essential brow tamer, but the thing with this is, for me, I use it after I've drawn my brows, not before. I noticed that anytime I use it before I draw my brows, it makes it quite difficult for me to draw my brows, right? So yeah, first things first is to draw. I'm not a heavy brow drawer, by the way. I just make it look decent. All those ones that people used to do, that they will make it cursive, make it I beg. I don't used to do all that. I just draw. And when I'm done drawing, I use my concealer to just give it the shape that I want, basically. So eventually I literally just pulled him out of the door and I walked away, went downstairs to the lobby, sat down, and then was able to book an Uber, even though there was a surge. I think from Ikoyi to Srilere, which was where I was living at that time, costed me maybe 4 or 5k because of the traffic. But I honestly did not in any way regret it, because that guy was a stupid person. Like, nah. And since then, I need to highlight my brows. I usually like to use this Maybelline highlighter, concealer rather, but the thing is, I don't know the shade, so I can't really help you with that. I don't know the shade. But yeah, so this is what I'm going to be using, and I'm going to take little with this flat brush and just highlight my brows. So since then, I've actually made it very important, very key. Anytime I'm heading out, I must literally almost always have Vex money, and I always try to order things that I can afford. Like, I cannot go to a restaurant and see maybe a meal of 90,000 naira, and I'm with someone that I'm meeting for the first time that I know that can show me a bit of madness, because what am I doing eating 90k stuff, but if I'm with someone that I'm close to, someone that is that wants to treat me good, okay, and you're like, Sandra, why don't you try this 90k steak, the one in Circle? That's fine, we could do that. But when I'm out, I usually eat within my price range, because I don't like embarrassment. And I remember reading one story I'm reading one story on Instagram, whether Instagram or Twitter, about one girl who went out with this guy. Apparently, before they went out, he had gotten a message that she had seen from one babe saying, "Oh, I've transferred 25k to you." And then they went out, and when they got there, they had eaten. Everything was like 22,000 naira, and I think it was time to pay, and they debited the guy. So he had just 25k in his account, obviously, and I messed up my brows. Anyways, and with the way the story was looking, it looked like the babe that had sent the 25k was like his girlfriend, but like the girlfriend did not know what exactly that he was using the money for, right? So they go to this restaurant, eat something worth 22k. Waiter comes with his POS, they pay. Ooh, this is not a good brow day. I think it's because I'm talking. But no wahala, we will do it. So I have this Hega and Esther brow gel. I rarely use it because I feel like my brow pencil is enough. But whenever I have issues like this on my brows, like this one that I'm having, I usually just go back in and just fill it with the brow gel. Yeah, we're done with that. So like I said, I don't do major stuff on my brows because I mean I don't have the time. I don't do aesthetic brows. I just do like brows. So I use the brow tamer. I take very little. It's like gel and it keeps like all the hairs in place. So I do. Booyah. Okay. So apparently the guy pays, and then the thing did not go through, was declined, but it was debited. So after I was debited, they're not like, bros, your thing did not go, but even so we have to try again. The bank will refund you, you know. And he's like, we cannot try it because damn, I don't have any other money in my account. So the waiter goes, and you know, he's stuck with the babe. Before I continue the story, this is my Nuban Beauty mineral finishing powder. I know you'll be thinking, this guy is a Nuban Beauty babe. I think I am, to be very honest. Like, I really, 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 really like their product. I think it's absolutely worth it. So I'm going to be using this Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Ooh, that was intense. So for my eyes, I don't like, I'm a very nude eye makeup person, maybe because I don't have strength. So for my eyes, I'm just going to be using something very chilled, you know, just almost my foundation color, to be very honest. I'm using this palette. It's one of those random palettes that I bought for like 500, I think. No, was it? No, 5k, sorry. How did I say 500? Jesus. For 5k, and it's not a popular brand, but it gives mad colors, like mad looks, especially if you're I'm a nude person kind of person, you know, you would really, really like this palette. So I usually do not do a lot of I don't do eye primer. Nope, I don't. So what I do is I just use my concealer on that area and just make it look really decent. So yes, back to the story that I was telling you about. The guy was now telling her that it'd be like, say she would be the one to pay, that he will refund her when they send him back the money into his account. And the guy is like, I have just maybe 1k in my account. Like, yo, I cannot. I cannot pay. And the guy's like, how would you come out with just 1k? And in my head, I'm like, guy, but you just borrowed money. What's your problem? So eventually, they're both there, stranded. And the guy's like, she has to pay for her food herself. He will sort out himself. Which is so shitty for a first date. Gosh, I would have cried. Literally cried? No, I'd have paid. But yeah. Anywho, so she now had to like reach out to like a couple of friends from church to send her 10k because her bill was like 8,000 or something. It was a story I read. But in my head, I just feel like it's very, very important, you know, for people to just always have like their money when they're going out. Like, Hey, anything can happen. Are you joking? So I'm gonna be using these Nuba Beauty eyelashes. I'm laughing because I'm using a lot of Nuba Beauty. Literally, I could actually do like a post on Nuba Beauty only, and I'm using the Nuba Beauty glue. I could do a post on Nuba Beauty using Nuba Beauty products only. I think I should actually do it one of these days, but not today, obviously. So yeah, it's just very, very important as women to have their own money when they're going out. Have your own money at all times. Like, don't let anybody disrespect you. Like, imagine if I didn't have that kind of money, I'll not sleep with someone because of 9,000 naira buffet. Ew, what? Oh my god, my ancestors will roll in the grave. They'll be so upset and so embarrassed with me. You know, so it's just like absolutely ridiculous. So I usually do my lashes off camera because now work, it is a battle. My lashes is a battle. So before we continue, so I like how it looks. I'm going to be using the TM Essential Cheek Glaze. Yeah, cheek glaze. And I have 3 shades of this. So I have the Melanin Bust, and I have the Balm. So I'm going to be using it in Balm, and this drop is a bit funny. I'm not going to use that today. So I'm using my Nuba Beauty NF15 brush, and I'm just going to go into the Melanin Bust generously because you need to take a generous amount or else it will not show on my skin. And I bought it because it says Melanin Bust. But I feel like the melanin they were looking for was definitely not my melanin, so I rather use this as a base and then I top up with the balm is an orangey kind of shade. I just take very little because this one is balm literally. So you see, you can see like it is already showing. Can you see it's so cool. Like I really like the balm. It's just very small. For my nose and all that, I usually like to use my guess what I like to use. You're right, Nuba Beauty. So I use my Nuba Beauty highlight. It's the Glow Invader, and it's like the darkest highlighter that you have, and it works perfectly for my skin. So I'm just gonna apply some tip of my nose here, and then I'm gonna use my powder again just for added effect, literally using my mineralized finish, and I'm just gonna blend out those highlights. I have like 3 mirrors right in front of me, by the way, guys. All right, so as that's going on, I'm gonna set my face with this. It's the Nuba Beauty setting spray. Apply it generously. I literally bath in it. So I'm using this Fenty Beauty lip balm. Love it. Yep. Lastly, I like to use eyeliner, and I'm using this Nuba Beauty felt tip eyeliner, giving myself that Nicki Minaj cat look for tonight. Do not try me. Don't try me. And that's on period. Lastly, again, like I said, I'm going to do my lashes off camera because it's a lot of work, but I usually apply lash glue close to my lashes, and that's because I have the coiliest lashes you could ever think of. Like, I used to feel sorry for makeup artists when they have to do my lashes because I'm on a work guy. Now work. All right, so we're gonna let that set, and then we could go to the close. All right, guys, so I owe you guys a huge apology. Unfortunately, I had to finish up quickly and I couldn't record every other thing that I did. I couldn't show you like my dress. So I decided it would make much more sense for me to just show you in pictures. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.